Hey, what's up, everybody? Thursday, April 23rd. What's going on? I hope everybody is well. So, interesting day today, but it's a day, frankly, that I love as a trader with my many years of experience. You know, I look at a day like today when the market was up strong for most of the day, and then a headline came out. And that headline had to do with, I think last week you saw that Gilead, the biotech company, they said, hey, maybe we got this vaccine, it looks promising, and the market shot up on that news. And today, I guess the headline was, well, that drug, that treatment is basically a flop. They're not seeing it work out. So the headline traders, that's what I like to call them, the headline traders came in, they sold the market down. The market is in a positive mode, and there are a number of reasons for that I have been explaining. Number one, just in a very macro sense, I believe that the crash that occurred since February, you know, and I've been through this, I've explained this, how the market is a discounting mechanism and it will tend to reflect forecasts and expectations. I mean, we had a crash that by many measures was worse than 1929 to 1933, and it happened. It didn't happen in 4 years. It happened basically in 6 weeks. All right? So the stock market already reflects, at least to a large degree, what the negative impact to the economy and employment is going to be, or what it is right now. And as I've said before, new variables have entered the equation. And those variables, you know, number one is the fiscal picture, which is, I've been giving you the details on that on a daily basis. And by the way, we're up now 580 billion over same time last year. That's government spending is up. You want just a little bit of perspective on this. Last year at this time, and remember, last year, the fiscal year 2019, that was a record spending year. At this time last year, spending was up 186 billion over the previous year. We are now up, and what? We're in April, right? I mean, so what? We have 5 more months left in the fiscal year. We're already up almost 590 billion over the same time last year. Unemployment benefits up 44 billion. Total unemployment benefits 44 billion. They're up 28 billion over the same time last year. So the fiscal, and by the way, another new stimulus bill was just passed by the House today. It's going to the president's desk. That's a 500 billion bill. And there's another one coming. And I like the next one because the next one is supposedly going to include money for infrastructure. And as I said yesterday, a payroll tax cut, which is very, very needed right now. I mean, we still have taxes up year over year, and that's even with 26 million people out of work. You need to reduce that tax drag. That is a big drag on the economy right now, so the payroll tax cut should be good. But anyway, getting back to trading, I like, first of all, I always fade the headline traders. Remember when we came into the beginning of the year in January? And I did a number of videos on this, and certainly if you subscribe to my report, you know, because I post up these headlines in the report every week. And you had all these Wall Street people saying, don't sell your stocks. It would be the worst thing for you to possibly do is to sell your stocks in January. And all of these, you know, you had Bank of America, you had Morgan Stanley, who, by the way, all of them were bearish last year. And I was telling you, buy every dip, buy every dip. They came into 2020 this year in January, you gotta buy, and go back and look at my videos. I was telling you, and at that time, nobody had any inkling of an idea about coronavirus. But I was telling you that the fiscal flow, remember I was doing these videos every single day. Fiscal flows are slowing down. The swimming pool analogy. There's a leak in the pool. The flows are coming down. Raise cash. Establish a short position if you can. Move out of the market. So that was the tip-off for me because, that's the core of my analysis. But getting back to trading, I love these days. So, yeah, what I was saying, you fade the headline people. The headline people. I had a guy one time, he was a subscriber. He said, Mike, why do I need your service? I could just trade the headlines. Like, oh, gee, really? Nobody does that. That is a genius idea. Nobody ever thought of trading. Come on, people, come on. Seriously. It takes understanding. It takes knowledge. It takes mental game. I mean, you could have all the knowledge. You could have all the understanding. You could have the system fairy on your side, right? A lot of you always in that never-ending search for the system fairy. She's out there somewhere, and she's going to bring me profits. Steady stream of profits. Never having to worry. No stress. No discomfort. Maybe sometime I take a little loss, but then the next trade is going to be a big profit. The system fairy is going to deliver that to me. No, it doesn't work that way. Neither does the headline fairy. So when the market pulls back on a day like today in an environment that is fundamentally bullish, now I don't know if it's going to be that way 3-6 months from now. Because look, let's face it, nobody's paying taxes right now because that got pushed back until July. That's still going to hit, right? And there's a moratorium on mortgage payments and rent payments, but that's going to hit too. And it's not like, okay, now it's July, I'm going to pay my rent. No, you got to pay your rent for July and then all the back rent. So this thing is just going to hit. And all these loans, these government loans, look, they are loans. So yeah, you get some money in your bank account, but you also have a liability now. You got to pay off a loan which didn't exist before. So down the road, we'll have to see. But right now it's positive. So I like these days that look like, oh, it's a failure. It's not a failure. These are great days to buy. People, yeah, I'm smart. I sold it today and it went down. No. That is a good opportunity to buy. Let me talk a little bit about, gold hit 1750. I told you yesterday we bought at 1670. I had that number now, and how did I come up with that number? I told you, commercials. I study what the commercials in the commodity markets do because they're the savviest traders. They deal with the commodity, the physical commodity. They know value. Okay? They're in the trade. In other words, they're merchants, they're producers, they understand what the intrinsic value is, they know when it's too expensive, they know when it's too cheap, and they'll go in there. So I follow what they do. Finally, oil was up today. I talked about green shoots yesterday. We had the second week up in gasoline demand. Gasoline demand rose by the highest amount in 5 weeks. We had the second week up in distillate demand. Distillate demand increased. And this is, through April 17th. So it doesn't take into account now some states are starting to open up. I mean, I was walking around here in New York City today. It seems like there's a little bit more traffic. And we have not opened up in New York. And we won't open up until at least what they're saying is mid-May, maybe later than that. But I said green shoots. Remember yesterday? Little signs, little pieces of evidence that things might be getting a little bit better. Pick up in fuel demand. You got to look at stuff like that. And of course, the OPEC cuts are coming in May. We've had a 900,000 barrel a day reduction in U.S. domestic crude production, and that's going to, get that cutback is going to get bigger, because that doesn't even take into account this week when we had the negative prices. So yeah, that's where it is. Today, the pullback, I love that. As a trader, I love that. I understand that. I know how to play that. Novice traders, they think, oh, that's a big reversal. That's not. When you understand basic conditions, when you understand what that means for market direction, because basic conditions dictate what happens over time, then your strategy becomes relatively easy, relatively simple. But you still got to have the mental game. Anyway, go to my website, pitbulleconomics.com, sign up for a 30-day free trial of MMT Trader, and the link is right here in the description below. If you like my videos, please subscribe. See everybody tomorrow. Bye-bye.